They were trying to load up a third rounder.
Commanders are not in.
Got it. Commanders not in. Obviously, deal to.
The Washington Commanders are not going to be in the Brandon Aiyuk business in 2024. Here's why. Let's pod.
This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
Going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson, back with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about the Washington Commanders. Today is Thursday, August 29th, and Washington is now 10 days away from the start of its regular season, and so is the rest of the NFL for the most part. The Niners are now 11 days, and the saga of Brandon Aiyuk has now bled into the regular season portion of the NFL schedule. Teams started install in game prep for their week 1 matchups yesterday, Wednesday, August 28th, and Brandon Aiyuk was a no-show to 49ers practice. And as we have heard it this afternoon from San Francisco, Brandon Aiyuk is once again not present at San Francisco 49ers practice. And I think we're at the point where they're willing to just cut their losses. So they're either going to A, find the hell out of him and not give him or grant him his wish, or B, they're going to ship him off to Pittsburgh. Here's where Washington stands in here. Adam Schefter told you today, Washington is out of the Brandon Aiyuk business. And I agree. I think us as a fan base, as a totality, we are out of the Brandon Aiyuk sweepstakes in 2024. Put it in all caps, in 2024, ellipses, ... Because if Brandon were to somehow go unextended in 2024, or to get traded to a team that he does not reach an extension with, I don't see that happening, by the way, then he will be headlining a wide receiver free agent class that consists of Brandon Aiyuk, T. Higgins, Amari Cooper, Deontay Johnson, and Chris Godwin. So if you need a wide receiver, a disgruntled wide receiver who is not looking like they're going to receive a contract during the 2024 season, boy, do I got a free agent crop for you in 2025. And Aiyuk headlines it. Co-headliner T. Higgins. T. Higgins is the only guy that was franchise tagged in 2024 that did not receive a long-term deal. It's just how the Cincinnati Bengals do business. They did the same thing with Jesse Bates. We're going to play contract, franchise tag, cha-cha-cha with you. We're going to let you get that franchise tag for a year while we still compete, and then we're going to wipe our hands with you. You can go test free agency. We thank you for your services and wish you the best on your endeavors elsewhere. Brandon Aiyuk, though, the purpose of today's video. Here is why Washington is out on the Brandon Aiyuk sweepstakes. I think Adam Peters believes one of those two options I listed is going to take place. So they believe they can get Brandon Aiyuk on the open market in 2025, or they believe Pittsburgh has the best offer on the table for him, and they're not going to be put in a bidding war for this wide receiver when a guy like T. Higgins is also going to be available in free agency next year. Washington is not pushing all their cards to the middle of the table in year one. We saw how they handled their first 53-man roster, how they handled the waiver claims period. There is a pragmatic, let's build this shit up right. We're trying to build a roster of culture setters. We're trying to set an identity, and we can get aggressive when we see what we have. Let's see how good our rookie quarterback is. Let's see how good the weapons we added to this team were. Because while the wide receiver room may look a little less than stellar on paper, both of our running backs are good pass catchers. Our tight end room has pass catchers. So in totality, Jayden Daniels has a good amount of weapons at his disposal in year one. It's not quite what Caleb has in Chicago, but he got weapons. But where Brandon Aiyuk fits into this is Brandon Aiyuk is Jayden Daniels, our quarterback's best friend in the NFL. They're still best friends to this day. We saw the Jayden, they don't want me TikTok live stream. We saw the Pivot podcast appearance where he says, if I'm not a San Francisco 49er, I'm a Washington Commander. If I'm not a Washington Commander, I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler. So his list has been clearly narrowed down. And I think Washington is circled in red Sharpie as the number one destination on his list. But here's the thing. The Niners may not want to deal him to their old friend Adam Peters, who GMs a team in the same conference as the Niners. 1. 2, I don't think it's a money thing. I think he would come here for less than he would take at other organizations because the Cleveland Browns, per Adam Schefter, and the New England Patriots both offered market deals over $30 million a year for Brandon Aiyuk. And what he do? He scoffed at, turned his nose up to the franchise of the New England Patriots and said, nah, I don't like what you're cooking over there, and clearly does not want to play for the massage menace Deshaun Watson over there in Cleveland. He said, nah, thanks, but no thanks. So it ain't a money thing, because if it was purely money, he was offered more than San Francisco in 2 places. So destination matters as well here. Destination definitely matters. And Washington is the number one destination on his list. The team that probably ends up with Brandon Aiyuk, if something happens this year, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm sure he watched that preseason fiasco of a quarterback competition, and I don't think he's too excited to go play for rinsed Russell Wilson or running back Justin Fields. Like, he's going to be getting thrown hospital balls, lollipops, and nonsense, and him and George Pickens are going to be out there fighting for their motherfucking life to produce a 1,000-yard season with the quarterback play that they current got there. But he likes Mike Tomlin. They say it's the Mike Tomlin thing that has him, the Mike Tomlin and the brand of the Pittsburgh Steelers. When you come from the 49ers, playing for a brand such as the Pittsburgh Steelers, such a consistent blue-collar flagship of the league organization. So going from one in San Fran to another, that makes sense for Brandon Aiyuk as well. But the 49ers have a decision to make because they don't have time to be focused on this when their number one priority needs to be the guy protecting Brock Purdy's blind side. Former Washington Redskins left tackle, future first ballot Yellow Jacket Hall of Famer Trent Williams, the big silverback. He wants money. He's watching the Kristen Darasols, the Tristan Wirths of the league, the young bucks get their bread. He's like, I'm 35 years old, but I'm still him. I'm still the best tackle in the league. I'm still that guy. You want to see how much I am that guy? Trent Williams should say, put me up on the trade market. Put me on the block and watch the interest I command league-wide. So there is no questions or doubts about how great Trent Williams still is at that point. So the Niners' number one priority this offseason is to mend that relationship with Trent Williams. Number 2 on that list probably also isn't Brandon Aiyuk. Number 2 is they have to allocate funds because next offseason, they're going to have to pay Brock Purdy, their starting quarterback, a market fair offer of close to or above $60 million a year, because $60 million is going to be the new benchmark for the quarterback market. So the best left tackle in the league, got to work something out there. Star quarterback, Brock Purdy, got to work something out there. Brandon Aiyuk falls 3rd on that list, and I think that's part of the reason why Brandon Aiyuk wants out of San Francisco. He's tired of playing 4th fiddle. He's tired of being the 4th option. He's like, bro, I put up an all-pro season, 1,300 plus yards, 7 touchdowns. I'm the best receiver on this team, yet I'm the 4th option. I am 4th fiddle in this offense. To Christian McCaffrey, to George Kittle, to Deebo Samuel. 3 guys ahead of me. I'm a better receiver than Deebo Samuel, and I'm going out there for $14 million this year. You got to be fucking kidding me. That's how Brandon Aiyuk feels in this situation. But now they can start taxing his ass. John Lynch comes to the podium, looks like he's about to pull his fucking hair out. His hair looks a little more gray and platinum than usual. Says, I mean, at some point, we expect you to come here and play. So I guess they are calling the bluff of Brandon Aiyuk. And 2 days into 49ers game prep and week 1 install, Nothing has changed. And Brandon Aiyuk said, all right, pull my card all you want to. I'm playing it. He put his on the table, put his balls on the table and said, have you ever played? Have you ever? Okay, nigga, let's play. And he's not trying to do it. He's not trying to play for the Niners anymore. So it's very clear in Brandon Ayuk's mind, trade me to Pittsburgh, trade me to Washington. I don't think Washington makes that trade. I don't think Washington acquires Brandon Aiyuk in 2024. I think Washington lets the saga play out, and if things work how they think it could, Brandon Aiyuk will be available in the free agent market, and nobody is going to get the chance to sign Brandon Aiyuk if he becomes an unrestricted free agent. He will be a Washington Commander, signed, sealed, and delivered at the fucking 12 a.m. midnight notice of free agency next year. That boy will be with Jaden Daniels on the Commanders jet, popping champagne before 12:01 midnight hits on the eve of March free agency in 2025. So I don't think Washington's ready to be that aggressive. I don't think they want to part with draft capital. We just added a little bit more. We have 8 picks in the 2025 draft, 2 third-rounders, 2 sixth-rounders, and we still have a 7th-round pick with all the wheeling and dealing. Washington's done shipping out Jahan Dotson. Just to put into perspective how awful the roster Adam Peters inherited here in D.C. from Ron Rivera, Washington's 3rd and 4th round draft pick of last season cleared waivers and has not even been signed to a motherfucking practice squad spot yet. Ricky Stromberg, Brayden Daniels. Washington's 7 picks in 2023, only 2 remain on the roster 1 year later. So for fans out there that think the expectation should be wild card, the expectation is to be the Houston Texans of 2024, you're lying to yourself. If those things happen, it's the cherry on top of the perfect transition season. But if you're expecting those things, you're missing the fucking point, and you do not understand how roster building works in any way. Are we saying it takes 3 to 5 years to build a culture like the last guy said? No, but we turned over this roster for a reason. If you don't remember the pregnant pause Adam Peters took in his introductory presser when they asked him about the condition of the roster, I will show it to you one more time.
Adam, David Aldridge with The Athletic. Welcome to D.C. I wonder what you think of the current roster.
I believe that there's a few cornerstone pieces in this roster. I believe we have a lot of work to do.
Roster, or even within the culture of the team, that you would like to hold on to moving forward?
There's a lot of good things about this building.
You hear the silence? That silence spoke volumes. It told you this roster is ass. And there's a reason why Washington has damn near 30 new players, and 13 of the 22 starters on this team are new in 2024. I would love to have Brandon Aiyuk. I've enjoyed flirting with the idea of Aiyuk to DC in 2024, but I think for right now and for the totality of 2024, the Washington Commanders, Brandon Aiyuk saga is dead. And I wish San Francisco the best or worst of their endeavors in trying to deal or sign him in 2024, because I got my fingers crossed, because I think there's a chance that he makes it to unrestricted free agency, but I could be very wrong. He could be getting shipped to Pittsburgh as we record this video, or he could still be in conversation to come to Washington. But I don't think that's the case. But if I'm wrong, that's something I would love to be wrong about, because I would love to have Brandon Aiyuk added to this wide receiver room. We added Noah Brown yesterday, a veteran to the room, not a world beater, not someone you should expect a Pro Bowl season out of, but definitely someone to be a contributor in the room. No way, shape, or form do I think Noah Brown is a deterrent to the Brandon Aiyuk acquisition, but I just don't see it in the cards for Washington in 2024. I hope I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong in the comments. I hope I am. Fingers crossed, though. He gets the free agency, and in 2025, Washington gets the first crack at Brandon Aiyuk when it comes to that. I hope you get your money, my boy. Look at that man's face in this picture. He looks disgruntled as hell. That looks like a man that wants his money. Not only wants his money, he wants his respect. And I don't think he would even accept the market value deal from San Francisco if they offered it at this point, because he doesn't feel respected in that place. And as a man, when you don't feel appreciated, when you don't feel respected, sometimes you need to take your bags and take your ball and go home. Get the fuck out of there and find greener pastures elsewhere. But that's all I got on the topic right now. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Brandon Aiyuk, is he going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler? Is he going to be forced to play hostage in San Francisco for a year? Does Washington somehow get back in the mix? Or does a team from the field jump in and say, F it, let's end this right now and make the most aggressive offer we've seen yet? That's all I got for right now. Until next time, hail to the Washington Commanders. Commander Rio, out.
Michael Vick here at BetUS.com. Get it all. Huge bonuses, great odds, a race book, live in-game betting, and a casino. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.